Good morning and welcome to the JMCSS podcast for the district. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for Jackson-Madison County Schools. This morning we're visiting with Jordan Taylor, a 2016 graduate of Southside High School who's now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. We'll discuss his experience as a former student in Jackson-Madison County Schools, his efforts now to assist JMCSS in promoting academics, athletics, and the arts, and we may even talk a little football and basketball across the district. Here's a reminder for the district: the JMCSS podcast is a production of the Jackson-Madison County School System in partnership with Forever Communications. You can listen to this episode on demand on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Jordan Taylor, welcome to For the District.
Appreciate you having me on, Greg. Looking forward to it.
Now, first of all, we have to say thank you for the work that you and Alex Norcutt do to help promote athletics in the district. This year, Forever Communications started the Sports 731 Network.
Yeah.
And so all year long, all of our stakeholders from Bemis to Pensacola, Florida, have been able to keep up with what's going on this football season due to the Sports 731 Network. So my first question is, tell us about the network and how a former Southside Hawk got this started.
Yeah, so Sports 731 Network, the idea was to be able to obviously bring some sports coverage to West Tennessee as a whole, but we needed a great school system to partnership with and to be able to carry some games here locally. And obviously at that point we talked with you guys and we were able to bring the Jackson-Madison County Schools Game of the Week to the network, which has been a great hit. We really enjoyed being able to cover several different schools here in town so far in football season. Of course, basketball season's coming up as well. We're looking forward to that. But yeah, that's basically what it was, just trying to bring local sports coverage to West Tennessee as a whole, but specifically here in Jackson.
Jordan Taylor is a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. And as you all know, since Dr. King's tenure, our superintendent started back in 2020. When we can, we spotlight our alumni and our graduates. And so we want to thank Jordan for being with us here this morning. Talk about your role now. We talked about the network that's got started, but since August, you have been out in our schools, interviewing our players and coaches. I think about the road trip that we took down to Lexington. Northside played Lexington on the gridiron. It was a classic finish. Talk about your role now helping cover our athletes.
It's really been a ton of fun. And I think the big thing that's been fun to me, and this may sound crazy to some people, is the Friday morning drive to work, knowing that I get to talk about the game coming up tonight or that night, and then, of course, being able to go out to the stadiums on Friday morning and set up, and you got the dew on the ground, as you get ready for a big game. And as a former athlete and as a guy that played in the school system, played football, of course, and being able to go out on Friday morning and set up and get ready to call what's going to be a big game that night, the game of the week, I've really enjoyed that part. Of course, I do play-by-play. Alex Northcutt is our color guy, and he also does, or he's going to do play-by-play for basketball season. So we're kind of going to swap roles there. But being able to, cover these, I think the main thing for me, Greg, is being able to cover multiple schools. Because, coming into it, you think about, okay, if I'm tied to one school, which I'd done in the past with previous school systems, you're not able to see all the talent, around the area. But being able to do multiple schools gives us an opportunity to see Northside, Southside, of course, JCM now, and Liberty as well. And then, of course, come basketball season, we get to add Madison to the mix. So, it's really a good time.
It has been an exciting time in the district, of course. This past weekend, the Commissioner's Cup championship game was played against Southside Northside, and you can actually go back on the Sports 731 network to see recaps of that game. And you mentioned being able to cover our student athletes has been real important. So we'll this is a podcast, so we'll have a little bit of fun letting our listeners know. Jordan was a former student of mine at Southside High School. And it's interesting because the principal out there, Anita Tucker, tells students every year when they enter high school that they need to find their motivation or they need to find their thing. that for you as a student at Southside High School was sports, but it was also a career and technical education program in communications. Take us back a little bit, how that experience kind of helped your trajectory through high school, through UT Martin, and now with Forever Communications.
I remember sitting in the gym at West Middle School, and you have to sign up for classes for your freshman year of high school there, and we were getting ready to sign up, and I had to pick one of those classes, as they called it. Hey, you got to have these, and you got to pick one of these. And I don't know. I just gave media a shot. Obviously, was blessed to be in your class for the years I was at Southside. And, man, you're right. The motivation to come to school and to I was telling Tad, actually, this week, one of my biggest things I wanted to do was be on the air. I wanted to be either on the radio station or a TV station, have my own show talking about sports. And I knew that would give me an opportunity to possibly do that. I didn't know what else was out there in the radio world or in the TV world at that time. I was just 14 years old, but very grateful for that opportunity to be able to do that. And I think that's why those classes, as people call them, are so important outside of your traditional math and science and history and English and all that good stuff. It's important to have those arts and those other classes you can go to. And that was definitely my motivation. It was playing sports for Southside and coming to learn more about media for sure.
Jordan Taylor is a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. As you all listen to the podcast this Sunday morning, as you think of other alum and graduates that you would like us to spotlight, do share that information with us. You can always send us an email, comments@jmcss.org, or you can visit our website, jmcss.org, and you can look for the Let's Talk tab. Jordan, we talk about career and technical education in the Jackson-Madison County School System. For you, that broadcasting opportunity at Southside was very important. For the benefit of parents who may be listening, now we have the Innovation Impact Institutes. And so you heard about the experience Jordan had. Well, the Innovation Impact Institutes takes our career and technical classes and really invigorates and gives new energy and supports for those classes. Let me list some of these classes for you because, Jordan, 2016 was a while ago.
It was.
And the setup has changed just a little bit more in the district. It's actually expanded. And so this will be new news for a lot of our graduates like yourself. So we have the Institute of STEM in Digital Entrepreneurship at JASA. We have a Science of Sound and Technology at JCM. So that's that digital innovation piece. There's a teaching and learning platform at JCM Early College High where students at JCM Early College High go visit Alexander Elementary, and they help the teachers teach the students.
Wow.
It is an education program for those students who have an interest in education. Everyone in the community by now has heard about the agriculture, food, and natural resources at Liberty Tech, which really coincides with the hospitality and tourism management piece at Liberty Tech. Of course, the students at Liberty Tech have the Taste of Liberty. It's a student-run restaurant there. All this information, again, is available at jmcss.org. Click on the Academics tab and then look for Innovation. There's the Institute of Humanities at Madison Academic, where those students have their own literary magazine. There's the American Law and Justice Institute at Northside High School. So the students across town wearing the blue and gold, getting opportunities to learn about careers in law. There's BioSTEM at Northside High School. Also, this weekend, yesterday was the Big Robotics Tournament at Jackson State Community College. Students from Northside High School and Madison were represented there. Just a lot going on in the district. And again, Jordan, 2016 was a little while ago. And so the opportunities have expanded for our students. So as a graduate, I just wanted to let you know how we will continue to expand and offer opportunities for students.
I still would have chose media.
All right, awesome. And they do have that out at Southside High School. And quickly before the break, I'll let you know this is the second year we're having an internship program. So there's from a district level, this communications opportunity for students, which segues into a feature here. We're going to hear from a communications student, out at Southside High School. London Murphy, she has this feature, and it's covering the nursing program at Southside.
Hello, JMCSS. Did you know that Southside High School offers 9 career and technical education classes? One of those programs we are featuring today is nursing. Let's hear Jalen and Amber's experience.
My name is Jalen Page. I'm a senior. My end goal for my career is to become a radiologist technician. This course really just teaches you ins and outs of really the basics of healthcare. I've learned so much of just how to make an unoccupied bed or a bed. It's really neat to just see how other people do things in different areas of healthcare. Something fun that I've done is just really meet new people. I've helped a lot of people with everyday activities, such as just getting up and walking or just asking them how their day was. That's just the fun part to me. I just like to see other people be happy. Any student that is really thinking about this class, you really have to have your time management skills planned out, because if you do not, it will definitely be a struggle for you.
My name is Amber Anderson. I'm a senior, and my end goal in the future is to be a pediatric cardiac nurse practitioner. I've always wanted to be into healthcare, and I feel like being in this course is really made me feel secure in my decision and just gave me a little outlook of what I would be doing. Interacting with patients, they may tell jokes, we laugh, and it's honestly a great bonding time with them, especially since they may not get that every single day. So I feel like we're there to just socialize and communicate with them. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, this class will be fun and it'll always be a great experience.
I hope you all have enjoyed this video and that you have a magnanimous day.
Welcome back to the Jackson-Madison County School System podcast for the district. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for Jackson-Madison County Schools. This morning, we're joined by Jordan Taylor. He's a 2016 graduate of Southside High School. He's now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. And as you know, Forever Communications has the Sports 731 network, where they cover Jackson-Madison County Schools. Jordan, let me ask you, and in a moment, we'll go back and talk about your upbringing and your path through JMCSS. This football season, I guess we've covered 7-8 games now, give or take. The most interesting game for you so far this year
was definitely Northside Lexington at Lexington, our only road game.
Now, wait a minute. Here's a Southside graduate.
Yeah.
Here's a Southside graduate, and he has to admit, top game so far this to date has
a close second would be JCM's opener, because it was the first time they've been back as far as being able to play a 10-game schedule, be eligible for the playoffs and all that good stuff. But man, the environment at Lexington, but on the Northside side. Let's not get that wrong here. Yes, it was at Lexington, but the environment in the Northside stands was incredible. It was a lot of fun.
Let's sit on that for a moment.
Yeah.
First of all, my son and I traveled to the game. The Northside band was there.
Awesome.
And anytime the band is in the house, it just livens the atmosphere.
Yes.
So let's pause and talk about that for a moment. So to kind of paint the scene for folks. Then Northside traveled very well.
Yes,
so the visitor stands were full, but there were also fans along the fence there. Talk about the way the game played out that kind of led up into that exciting inning.
Yeah, Lexington pretty much controlled the pace of the game for the majority of the game, but towards the end of the game, Northside really made adjustments and was able to get back into the game, especially there in the fourth quarter, and come back and win the game by a point. You can't ask for much more than that. But looking back now, the reason I point that one out, yes, it was great in the moment, but if you look at the playoff picture, especially after this result from Northside and Southside on Friday, it kind of makes things interesting in Region 6-4A. And Northside needed that one more than ever. I think they knew it in the moment, but looking back, they definitely needed it down the stretch here.
Now, we know sports, not the most important thing that happens in a school district, but certainly just from a communication standpoint, we can put out announcements about testing and level 5 and level 4, which we're grateful for our teachers and our students to do that. But when it comes to engagement, for some reason, there's that excitement attached to athletics that you really don't see in other places. Even if it's powder puff at Madison Academic, when it comes to sports and competition, why do you think that is, Jordan?
Funny you said powder puff. When I was in high school, I was actually able to coach the senior powder puff team my senior year, and we had a crowd for the Powder Puff Championship.
Yeah.
Athletics just brings everybody together. I mean, it's a way for obviously you to see for the community to come out and support. I think about last week, Greg, for the JCM homecoming game. Incredible atmosphere. They don't even have a home field at this point, but they were playing the game at Southside, and it was full. I mean, there was people everywhere. So I just think it gives the community an opportunity to come out and support on the athletic side.
Now, I would have to talk to Miss Tucker, Coach McNeil, maybe Coach Wyatt to get confirmation. But remember, Southside's current stadium was built, I want to say in 2019, 2018, 2019?
Yeah, it was definitely around that time, yeah. I remember watching it come down.
Are you confident to
one.
say that game a few weeks ago, the JCM Northside game, was probably the most attended game to date at Southside Stadium?
I would probably disagree. There was a quarterfinal game against Briarcrest in 2017 or 2018 when I think the stadium was in its first year.
Leave it to the broadcaster to correct me.
It was very full. In fact, it was right after JCM closed, a lot of those athletes were able to come play at Southside.
That's right.
Coach Reeder had a really good team that year. They made a run to the quarterfinals, and there was a home game that was full. And I haven't seen it that full since the mid-2000s.
What's it been like interacting with Coach Lowe at Northside? You mentioned Coach Narcisse, and certainly we could mention Liberty and JCM, but particularly the two new coaches coming in, what's it been like to kind of get to learn their coaching styles and know them as people?
First thing that Coach Lowe and I talked about is we joked about when I played against Bolivar, because I played against his son, and his son was a heck of a player, but he was a quarterback, and he remembered that for some reason. But I talked to him about that, and he said, man, y'all put some really good games against us together, and now you're on my side. You're rooting for my guys. So that was really cool. And Coach Lowe's a great guy. Being able to talk ball with him. That's what I've enjoyed more than anything with being able to work with these coaches. It's not the X's and O's. It's not about who the opponent is that week. It's getting to know these guys as men and as leaders. And as a former athlete, that means a lot to me, what they're being able to do in these programs. And the same thing goes for Coach Turner and Coach Aiken and, of course, Coach Narcisse at Southside. All great guys. And, of course, Coach Narcisse, he comes from a winning culture, a school that I was kind of jealous of because they were always winning when I was playing in Covington. So, they're both great people, and I've really enjoyed getting to know them.
Jordan Taylor is a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, now involved in marketing, sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. So when we see our graduates doing well, particularly community partners like the relationship we have with Forever Communications, we like to pause and just acknowledge that. Reminder, you can go to sports731.com to see that Northside versus Lexington game, because it was a classic finish, and I want to say it was fourth and long. It was fourth and 12 maybe.
Yeah.
And Northside ran the ball, which I think nobody in the stadium was expecting that.
Yep.
I do want to encourage you, go back online to see that. Jordan, talk about for a moment, you're a 2016 graduate, so if we go back, you growing up out south, you attended Melissa's?
Yeah, started in 2003.
Yeah. So talk about that transition. I know for you, education was impactful. You loved it so much, in fact, that you continued after high school to learn more going through college. But for a moment, talk about Melissa's, I guess it was Bemis Intermediate, Southside High School. Talk about those transitions.
Yeah, at Melissa's, Southside was great, but I think Melissa's is probably my favorite school. Because it was where I started, and it was a community feel school that obviously had shut down at this point, but a great elementary school to start at with some great teachers. And one thing I've always said about all the schools I went to, especially being out south, it seemed like the consistency was there. There was always the same teachers. You would have. I remember being in kindergarten and first grade. I had people I looked up to that were in middle school, or maybe they were in high school. And the teachers they would talk about, I ended up getting to have the same teachers. So a lot of the teachers stuck around and was able to be taught by those teachers. So, yeah, Melissa's was great. Of course, then I went on to Bemis Intermediate, the last sixth grade class at Bemis Intermediate before they merged Bemis and West. Went on to West Middle School for 7th and 8th grade. Enjoyed my time there. One guy that sticks out to me from there is Coach Reeves. Played basketball for him and really enjoyed my time there. He's still in the system, I believe, right? So it's really, really great to to remember those days. And then, of course, on the south side, which was a family atmosphere. My mom and dad graduated from there. My brother had graduated from there as well, and now my sister as well. So just a family feel at Southside.
Just a quick mention about Melissa's. Melissa's is being updated and renovated. It will be the district innovation hub. So you think about reimagining and repurposing some spaces. And so Madison County Commissioner Jimmy Arnold, working with school board members in our Department of Innovation, Dr. Teresa McSweeney. And so that will be a hub for our innovation. So you think about esports, robotics, science, technology, engineering, math spaces. So we are excited about the reimagining and the rebirth of Melissa's. So people talk about the rebirth of JCM. And so we're excited about the rebirth of Melissa's and the repurposing of that building. Even now, our innovation team is stationed out in the Melissa's building. So we are excited about that. We're visiting with Jordan Taylor. He's a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. He's also a former UTM Skyhawk. We'll throw that there just in case Richard Robinson, the longtime professor there, may be listening. If you follow us on social media, you know the Jackson-Madison County School System has spent time this semester spotlighting several schools. We want to take a moment to visit with Community Montessori. So as we go to this first feature, the voice you will hear is the principal, Dr. Melinda Harris, and students at Community Montessori.
Community Montessori is a school full of love, and it is growing.
It's very peaceful. And I feel comfortable and safe here.
So we are beginning a lot of expansion in our building just because of the demand and the numbers of students coming here.
The teachers here are really nice and the principal's nice, the kids are nice. It's just a really good community.
The Montessori philosophy is built on meeting the needs of children at their specific plane of development. Our classrooms are multi-aged, so our pre-K and kindergarten are in the same room together, first, second, and third, with the same teacher for 3 years. Upper elementary, 4th, 5th, and 6th is together for 3 years, and then our middle school program at 7th and 8th.
The expectation is that the older kids will be like an example to the younger kids.
Being a 6th grader means you need to be on your best behavior, because if you're not, the 4th graders are going to think that's what they can do. Community meetings are important because you stop and you come together as a family, and then we say our student creed.
I am an important person in this world.
Now is the most important time of my life.
My mistakes are my best teachers, so I will be fearless.
Maria Montessori said that peace was not to be left to the work of politicians, but was educating the children and how to learn how to be at peace within themselves, how to work through conflict resolution.
I came to the program in 1997. We are now in our 3rd building, still the same program, and we have 657 students pre-K through 8th grade.
We talk a lot about peace and world peace so that our world can be as peaceful as possible, so that once we go out into the world, we can take what we've learned from Community Montessori to make it a better place. It's fun to learn, first of all, of course. I'm learning how to do decimals right now. Sometimes it's kind of I really don't want, but sometimes I'm like, band, yes.
Welcome back to For the District, the JMCSS podcast on JJ 97.7 FM. This podcast is a platform for us to promote all the happenings in Jackson-Madison County Schools. So we want to pause for a moment and say congratulations to the Madison Mustangs Lady Volleyball's team finishing 2nd in their district. A difficult game against Huntington, but those young Lady Mustangs finishing 2nd in the district. We also want to say congratulations to Southside High School. Not only did the Lady Hawks finish runners-up in the district, but Kim McNeil, the Lady Hawks volleyball coach, was named District Coach of the Year. So congratulations there. And then also on the south side of town, on the basketball side, The TSSAA announced their Coaches of the Year, which was slightly delayed from the season finishing, but want to say congratulations to Coach Brent McNeil, the TSSAA Coach of the Year in girls basketball.
Does the McNeil household have a little room to dust off the trophy case? I mean, you got two Coaches of the Year here so close together.
We want to welcome in Jordan Taylor, a 2016 graduate of Southside High School involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. And Forever Communications is where you can hear this podcast on Sunday morning, also on their apps. If you're interested in going back and watching sports broadcasts, you can check out the Sports 731 app. And the Sports 731 network has been a great addition to the wealth of media we have in Jackson-Madison County. And when you think about 99,000 people roughly living in Madison County, so as the media options expand as a school system, we certainly want to be where our parents are. So we want to thank Forever Communications for partnering with the Jackson-Madison County School System to help us provide these platforms to communicate. Jordan, a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, we were talking during the commercial break. You really went from ball boy to broadcaster, and education was really the platform for you to do that. For folks who may have not heard the first two segments, just really kind of briefly recap that journey really in a nutshell.
Yeah, started as a 7-year-old helping Southside's football team. Obviously went to church with Miss Kane and Coach Kane on the south side of town, and Coach Kane was of course helping the Southside football team at that time, and was able to get in with him and help them with the water, and of course being a ball boy at that point, and eventually became a Hawk. So it was a really cool transition to be a part of that throughout the years.
And so you didn't just stop short of loving sports. You used that to take the broadcasting class at Southside High School.
Yeah.
Obtain a degree from UT Martin, and now you're here helping this fine station promote all the great things happening in the Jackson-Madison County School System. We do want to remind folks that on October 19th, the United States Air Force Band and Singing Sergeants will perform at Liberty Technology High School on Thursday, October 19th. This is a free concert and a rare event to hear great patriotic singing, Broadway classics, and a salute to our veterans. So if you know a veteran or simply a patriotic citizen, we want to remind them of the United States Air Force Band will be here in Jackson on Thursday, October 19th at Liberty Technology High School. The tickets are free, but they do ask that you reserve those tickets in advance. You can visit our website, jmcss.org, to register for your free tickets. Jordan, in the last commercial break, we heard from Dr. Melinda Harris, principal at Community Montessori. I know you spent a lot of your time helping and highlighting the athletics, but how fun has it been since graduating from the school system to learn more about the academic offerings offered in JMCSS?
I think it's been fun to keep up with the new things for sure, but what I've enjoyed most is how you guys are getting it out there, and you're letting people know that these options are there. I know, at least coming into high school, you had to look for those options. You had them on, like I said, you had a sheet where you got to pick your classes, and you had to ask questions about, what is this class? What does this do? But now you guys are really doing a great job of pushing those new programs and what all you offer for the students.
Checking my notes, we do want to say congratulations to Addison Dilworth, the District Player of the Year in girls volleyball. So congratulations, Addison, on your big award. And so what we do want to be mindful of is we know, and this goes back to actually it predates me, but thinking back to my days at Channel 7, those quote-unquote major sports getting a lot of the spotlight, and a lot of those are sports for boys, but certainly we do want to take time and to allow for some diversity and equity. And you think about also spotlighting many of our female athletes, and we'll get to do that this basketball season when Forever Communications and the Sports 731 Network begins to cover high school basketball, boys and girls. Jordan, let us behind the curtain just for a little bit and talk about that whole process and what you expect that will be like.
It's going to be a ton of fun. I think, obviously we have the 4 schools right now that we're able to cover in football, but adding that fifth school in Madison, who's had some success in basketball on the floor, of course. It's going to be cool to go see a lot of these different programs. And another aspect of it that we're excited about, of course, Alex will be doing the play-by-play. His dad is actually the girls basketball coach at Northside, so that's going to be cool to see that as well when we cover Northside games. So I think another thing, Greg, that you just mentioned that's a great to point out is when we cover these basketball games, we're able to cover the girls and the boys game. So that brings a lot to our viewers. With football, obviously it's just a boys' sport. But adding basketball, we're able to, show girls basketball as well, which as of late, there's been some great success in girls basketball in the system. So really looking forward to those opportunities.
Jordan Taylor, working in marketing and broadcasting here for Forever Communications. He is a 2016 graduate of Southside High School. So we do want to say thank you to our many community partners for assisting us in getting out the word about our schools. And you think about our superintendent, Dr. Marlon King, he really just breaks it down to a AAA mindset: academics, athletics, and the arts. And so Forever Communications and not only the Radio 731 and the Sports 731 network have really assisted us this semester in getting the word out. One final note, as I look across my notes, I want to remind families about the school health clinic. Ashley Hardy is the family nurse practitioner there. The school health clinic is located at 668 Lexington Avenue. And so when school starts back up, if you need any of your primary and urgent care needs for our students, for our employees, and their immediate families, we want to make sure that our parents know about the school health clinic located at 668 Lexington Avenue. That's right beside JCT, Jackson and Career Technology Elementary School. And so the hours of operation Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 4 p.m. So we've really covered it all this morning. Academics with Community Montessori. We're learning about nursing at Southside High School. Of course, the arts being such a great piece of the community in the United States Air Force Band coming to Jackson, Tennessee, and really being able not only to give a shout out to our veterans, but to spotlight the ROTC program at Liberty Technology High School. And of course, with athletics in the Sports 731 network. Again, Jordan Taylor, a 2016 graduate of Southside High School, now involved in marketing and sports broadcasting for Forever Communications. So real quick, Jordan, we'll give you the last word. We know basketball season is right around the corner, although we're right here in football season.
Yeah.
Really quick, when you think about the basketball season, is there a particular matchup as you prepare to set your schedule that Alex and yourself are kind of really looking forward to seeing?
I think, any game we can get with two schools in the system, just because it brings out the best in town. And you're able to see the support, again, that these schools have. So obviously we want to do the JCM Northside. We want to do the JCM Southside, Northside, and Liberty, what they've been able to do. And you think back to when Liberty in the mid-2000s, they had some really good basketball teams and won some state championships. So you can't forget them either. They've got some talent over there. So just looking forward to those games in town more than anything.
What do you think it'll be like for Alex broadcasting the game with his father now coaching at Northside High School?
He'll have to be a little careful about what he says. And typically, it's the color commentator that gives the coach, some crap a little bit throughout the broadcast.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll defer to me. Maybe when there's a call that we may not agree with. But yeah, looking forward to that aspect, and it's going to be really cool to see those two. Obviously, Alex with the headset on, broadcasting, and then his dad coaching.
Awesome. We are so looking forward to that. You've been listening to For the District, the JMCSS podcast. And remember, it's production in partnership with Forever Communications. You can listen to this episode on demand on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We hope you have an excellent Sunday, a great week, and we'll see you next time.